Yeah, I'm gonna start recording this just in case we get anything kind of cool that's happening up. Looks like there's some people showing up, and this is gonna be sweet. How you guys doing? How's everybody going? If you don't want to say anything and unmute yourself, Justin, what's up, buddy? Look at that beard. What a sexy boy. That guy's awesome.
What's up, guys?
So yeah, if you guys want to introduce yourselves and let me know where you guys all are coming in from, be kind of nice. You can put it in the chat, or you can just unmute yourselves. And I've unmuted everyone, just in case anybody wants to come and say hello.
My name is Jared Oliver. I'm from Ohio.
What's up?
Nice to meet you, Bobby.
Pleasure to be here. Nice to meet you.
I'm Megan. I'm from Victoria. I'm actually originally from Nanaimo. I know you're in Nanaimo, so yeah, it's kind of cool.
I love Nanaimo. I actually am from Burnaby.
Oh, okay.
Allow participants to unmute themselves. Okay, so I'm going to mute everybody, and then if you want to say something, you can unmute yourself because I unmuted everyone at the same time. But nice to see you, Caitlin, Morgan, Patrick. What's up, buddy? How you doing, brother? Tiana's here. Nice to see you guys. We got Mark, Nicole, Sean, Chris, Justin, Carly. I got iPhone watching. Nice to meet you guys. Nice to see everybody. Melissa, what's going on? Oh, man, so blessed to be able to connect with you guys. All right, cool. So I think it's 6 o'clock. Do we want to give everyone one more minute to go in, or do you want to just dive right into the deep end, guys? It's going to be so super cool.
Yeah, maybe we'll give one more minute because we told everyone they have to be on time, and then we're going to start this. So because we know your time is super valuable, and we really appreciate you popping on here. So. Oh
man, such an honor. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll give it a couple more minutes. But you guys do me such a great honor to be able to do this, and I love our community. I love what we do. I love everything about this, and you guys are gonna have some fun today.
I got 16 on here. Here's what this.
Is there like a chat to type in or no?
Yep.
I can't see it.
Should be on a thing there. Let's see if I can message.
There's a little button at the bottom of the screen that says more, and it has 3 dots. And if you click on it, part of it says chat. I think. It does on mine.
So yeah, chat here, guys. If in case anybody wants to pop anything in there, when I'm going off, probably won't be able to pay attention to the chat. So if you guys want to, like, someone can moderate the chat just to sort of like make sure that we got like we can talk if somebody needs to. Jesse, what's going on? Look at this. This is gonna be so cool. Love working with Jesse. She's epic. Cool. And we got Justin twice. That's epic. I love that. Double Justin action.
All right. I think we're going to get started here, Bobby. It looks like we've got a pretty good turnout so far, and if we have a couple stragglers, then we can have them jump on.
I love stragglers. Okay, cool.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you for everyone for showing up here tonight. We have, honestly, probably a really spectacular guest, and you guys are in for a real big treat tonight. We have basically allowed Bobby to take free reign and do whatever he wants to do. So we have no idea what's planned or what he's going to have going. And I don't know, we're in store for something I think pretty epic right now. So I hope you guys are all super pumped, and we want you to engage, listen. Bobby wants you to listen and talk when he wants you to talk. So please engage with everything. Andy?
Cool. Yeah, we actually had a reading with Bobby when we were in Africa earlier this year, and that kind of started things off with multiple people on the screen in front of you having readings from Bobby. And we've had amazing feedback from everyone. So we just wanted to kind of introduce you guys to Bobby, who hasn't had numerology readings, and kind of just go from there. And this might spark something for you guys to move forward and be interested in doing a reading with them in the short term coming forward. So Bobby, if you want to jump into it, fire away, buddy.
First of all, I want to just say I thank you guys. I appreciate you guys so much for this. This is such an awesome opportunity to be able to come and speak for you guys live and to speak greatness into your guys' business. I have a lot of love for you guys and a lot of love for your team. We're all Canadians. Well, most of us anyway, when we got to get a chance to see this, and I got a chance to meet you guys, and it made me feel like there was a home and a family inside of what we have together. And you guys are, I guess it was Piet and Bree first, and then it was Pat and Tiana that I got a chance to work with. And then it just started trickling from there. I worked with Jesse as well live. And I mean, it's just been such a great honor and a pleasure for anyone who has worked with me to be able to be invited into your guys' lives. Like, I mean, we're all in this business together. We're all trying to make something happen inside of our lives, inside of our world. And, you know, it led us into this certain point, and it led me the same way. And when I found numerology, I found this business first, and it made me feel like something else was out there. And I was already a very spiritual kind of person, so I was super open to this kind of stuff. But when I learned it, it blew my mind just to think how your name and your birthday seem to know something about you. That's like, it tells your story, or it tells the version of who you are. And to be able to use it and even tweak it, it's like one of the most powerful technologies ever. So I know that there is like a few people I have worked with. I've worked with Jesse here. I've worked with a couple of you guys who, just by a show of hands, just to make sure I know, who haven't I worked with and who's been sort of, so yeah, okay, yeah, you guys, Bradshaw's, Morgan, Mark, okay, yeah, so there's a pretty big group of people who haven't been, and who's never heard of me, or is going to be their first experience seeing me live or seeing me talk. Okay, cool, yeah, I see one of us there. Pretty cool. There you go, Nicole as well. Chris, awesome. Guys, honestly, so super cool to be able to come to you guys here, especially since I wanted to just speak so much greatness and so much love into your guys' community and into your guys' businesses, each individually, and hopefully do some pretty cool, fun things. We got a small enough group, so if you guys want, what I was going to do is going to see sort of like how big the group was, how intimate we can get into certain readings. It would be nice because if we've got the leaders here of your team and organization, for their purposes as entrepreneurs, to know where their inventory is, to see what type of life paths are. I would love to do a group reading where we can measure the vibration that shows up in there and give you guys at least like the ABCs to how this stuff works. Because some people are like, I don't know what he's talking about. What is all this stuff? What does it even mean? And for the people who have worked with me, it's like, wow, it's like he knows me. It's like this person already understands what I've gone through. And we've never had a chance to actually talk to each other. So it's pretty illuminating stuff. It's pretty pretty powerful things that we have to be able to talk about inside of this place or inside of this space where we get a chance to read your numbers. But very, very blessed to be able to be in front of you guys and share this with you. So if you guys want to do this with me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce you guys to the lineup. Okay, so you know there's an alphabet, right? A to Z. There's also numbers 1 to 9. And it's kind of like having a nine cast members or 9 members on a play, actors, if you will, that all show up in different roles in terms of your birthday, in terms of how many vowels you have in your chart, how many consonants show up in your name. All of the different things that I measure all show up with the numerical value. So it's going to be kind of tough to sort of squeeze this into an hour. I've got 90 minutes. So if anybody can't go for pay attention for more than an hour, I don't blame you. But I will be recording this and I will post this somewhere so that people can actually see this. But it would be nice to know because it shows up in your partner, it shows up in your business, it shows up on the calendar, it shows up on the feelings that we have, the date is everything, and the numbers are everything. So for me, it's pretty powerful stuff. If anybody has any questions, just drop them in the chat or unmute yourself. It's all good. But what we want to do is we want to do like a group reading so everybody knows who they are inside this team. And you guys can link up with each other a little bit and form your own small little pods or masterminds, or just get a really good solid sense of who you guys are to yourselves and where you fit in the big machine. For people like Pete and Bree, I would imagine it would be kind of neat to make sure you got like a list and say, okay, Caitlin's a life path or Mark's a life, Ashley goes into a life path. And that way you know what type of a person this is so that we know how to push, how to pull, how to let be, or how to encourage. But having this as a service for the leaders of a group is like one of the most powerful investments. It's like knowing what's under the hood. You know what I mean? Like when you got you know your machine and you know your organism here. And the fact that you guys are all entrepreneurs trying to make something out of your lives and do something super powerful, I would love to be able to introduce myself and give you guys at least some value. And then that way you have something to move forward with. And if anybody wants to work with me directly, absolutely you can. I'm just going to quickly pop my site into the chat so everybody has it and nobody's asking me for it later. It's bobbyfperryhard.xyz. So you just basically copy that into a browser and you can link in with me and we'll basically be able to do a one-on-one private session. But I'd like to introduce you to the numbers. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start with just a simple calculation. And you can do this on a keyboard. You can do this in your mind. You can count this out. You can basically write it down if you want to. It's going to get super confusing. So in case anybody has like a number they can't add, it's just adding, but it gets pretty weird, okay? So what you do is you write out your birthday. So we're going to take about 3 or 4 lines. So the first line you're going to write, like in my case, it would be June 28th, 1984. And this is my birthday. Yay, I'm born. So this is the day I come in. This is my birthday. This is basically it. Okay, I'm ready to take on the world. I'm going to do big things, you know. But until then, I just got to realize I'm just born so that I start taking up space on that day. Now, on the next line, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write it out as numbers. So 6 would be June. Like June is the 6th month. So you would write out what month it is. And if you're born in October, that's a 1 month. If you're born in November, that's an 11 month. If you're born in December, that's a 3 month. Okay, so there are some exceptions. When you're counting, if you get the number 11 or you get the number 22, keep it, okay? But it is also reduced again to the numbers 1 to 9. So in case you have 22, in case you have 11, you could be born on the 11th or you could be born on the 29th. You could be born on November. Those types of numbers will show up with mastery. So then the day will be, for me, I'm born on the 28th. So I add 2 plus 8 and it equals 1, like 10. 2 plus 8 equals 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1. Okay, so I know it's a little confusing, but we're writing out the 3 numbers that show up. 1 for your birth month, 1 for your birthday. All right, grade 6 algebra or grade 6, addition. Here we go. Now you're going to add up the year. This is always the toughest part. So I'll give you guys some hints. If you're born in the 80s, then it's the last number of your 80s. So I'm born in 1984. That means I'm a 4, okay? If you're born in 1983, then that means you're a 3. If you're born in 1988, that means your number for the year there will be 8. If you're born in the 90s, then you add the first and the last number together. So just so we can get, there's not too many people here. Who's here? Anyone here born in the 1978? So you're going to go -1. Okay, so instead of the number being like the number for 1978 would be 7. It's 1 minus the last digit. So I know it's super confusing. I've come up with cool, crazy little tricks inside of my head to figure this out. But 1991, Jesse, that's going to be a number 2, right? Because 1 plus 9 is 10, 9 plus 10 is 19, and 19 plus 1 is 20. And so, yeah, basically, if you're born in the 90s, you add the first and the last number together. So Ari Summick says 1990. So she's born in, the year is going to be 1. But Ari, if you don't mind, then let's take a look at your full birthday. What month, what day, and what year? And let's see that we get the 11. So we have July, which is 7. 3, which is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. And 1990 is a 1. So you add 7 plus 3 plus 1, and you get the number 11, okay? So she's the life path 11. And then it goes down into 2. Same thing with mine. I have 6 plus 1 plus 4. It equals out to 11. And so 1 plus 1 goes down to 2 again. So I've got, if you have the 11, you have 2 life paths. Then we have Melissa. So Melissa's showing up September, which is 9, 11, which is 1, and 1983, which is 3. So this one's going to be a life path 5 because we add all those numbers together and we get that there as well. Okay, Mark. Okay, everybody's just popping it in there. Okay, so Melissa was 1. James shows up March. So you guys just sending me for a math class. And so we have 3 for March, 8 for the 8th, and then 1982 will be 2. So that's 5 plus 8, which should be 4, 13. And then that's 1 plus 3 is 4. Then we have Mark showing up November 6th. That's 11, and then 6 and 6 again. So 12 plus 11 is 23, which is another 5. And then, am I right there? Yeah, 12 plus 11 is 23. 2 plus 3 is 5. We have Justin. Okay, Gabriel did hers as well. So yeah, okay. What are you guys just gonna make me do all the addition for all your guys' numbers there? What we'll do is I'm gonna share another resource for you. I probably should have done this in the first place. It's called tokenrock.com/numerology, and it's a site that lets you just calculate the number, so you don't have to make me go crazy there figuring it out. But here's a really good tip, because this is a training, okay, guys? This is like you guys are doing this for business. You can go into this site and enter the birthday of a prospect or enter the birthday of a client or enter the birthday of someone you're working with, and then you will be able to understand what type of a person this person is, at least from a general perspective. The name will also go a little bit further, But this is a really good way or a really good place for us to understand and have empathic nature towards the people we're working with. That you'll most likely find that you're going to be, right, we advertise people who like, know, and trust us already. So we're probably going to find people who are just like us. But at the same token, you can definitely get onto tokenrock.com /numerology and calculate your life path just to make sure you have it. But it should show up with something like this. And so, just very easy. What are we there? June 28, 1984. And then it says 614 underneath it, and then 11 underneath it. So in case we're just basically putting numbers together, Caitlin, right? 3 for March, 5 for the 5th. So 8 plus 9 plus 10 plus 1 equals 10. So Caitlin's going to be a 1. Chris shows up with a 3, a 6, and a 5. So 11 plus 3 is 14. So another 5. Okay. So yes, definitely. All right. Now you guys all have these original numbers that are showing up in there. So let's just make sure we have everybody listed off in the right order. Who had number 1s? Or any number 1s in there? Okay. So Patrick's a 1. Okay. Yeah. Obviously Pete's going to be a 1 too. So, they're kind of share the same birthday. So that kind of, and I mean, it's funny, they're both completely different people, right? But they have the same start point and they have different directions because different names and stuff. So let's talk about the 1s. This is going to be a pretty cool thing to talk about because, this is the beginning number of our chart. So I introduced you guys to the number 1. These are the leaders. These are the people who are going to be independent. They show up with a sense of direction. They want to go somewhere in life and they want to do something in life. I can't remember which one of the brothers it is that's the captain of everything and always shows up as the lead inside of the sports teams. Which one was that? That was Piet, right? Yeah, and so we have people, things like captains, things like guys who want to lead, people who want to go into their own direction. This is a very alpha style energy. So if you're born in January, you're born on the 10th, you're born in 1981 or 1972 or 1990, these numbers are showing up to have a strong level of independence. Yes, Nicole, sounds complicated. Absolutely. Why don't you maybe unmute yourself and let me find out, or if you want to maybe let me know what your birthday is, let's figure it out for you while we have you so you can keep along.
August 11.
Okay, sorry, what month were you?
August 11, 1978.
August 11, 1978. So we take 8 for August, 11 for the day, and then 1978 is 7. So that's going to be 6 plus 2. This is life path 8. So you're going to really want to pay attention to this, especially since this is the wealth number. So when we get a chance to talk about the number 8, there's a strong connection to a very valuable wealth vibration of abundance. So people born in August with the life path 8, that's a pretty powerful name. We've got a lot of power inside of that vibration as well. So it's pretty cool. But anyone else lost? Everyone else got their number, pretty confident in it. If you've lost it or don't have it or want to unmute yourself, make sure you can. We'll add it together. Okay, everybody's cool. So life path 1s, right? These are independent people. They can maybe be a little bit more focused on what's important to them or how this makes them feel than anything else, but they lead very well. And when numbers are working in good conjunction, if we have a vibration where the 1 is being left to target and it's like challenging the self, this can be really tough on itself, where this person doesn't like believe in what he can do. Maybe they're hard on themselves and what they do is never good enough for them. So it can be very difficult to run a path when we have vibrations like that, especially since every number has a positive and a negative. So these are our life path 1s, okay? Also really good for clarity of vision. So they've got somewhere they want to go. They've got something that they want to do in life, and they have people that they want to lead. So you're in great hands when Pete shows up and he shows up with a 1. This is a really powerful feeling. So something to be really trustworthy in, that this is leadership we can follow. And he probably wouldn't want to do this if he wasn't. So now let's take a look at the number 2s, and the number 11s will also play into this, but we'll talk about the 11 in a second. So who got 2? Who got 11? Okay, Tiana. All right, cool. Then we got Ari coming in there as well. And so the life path 2s, I'm 1 as well. I'm also an 11, but the life path 2, now the ego is not focused on the sense of self. Now we focus on how do we help others? How do we show up in partnership? These are going to be strong coaches. They're going to help work in a community feel. So if you guys have like a group chat and someone's dealing with a business together, a 2 on outside of the financial house will still want to come in, help, offer support. You can work with me. It's all good. We're going to do this together without any like satisfaction of getting paid for it. The two just wants to help people move forward, and they're great people to work with. Obviously, because I'm a number two, so we're great people to work with. But the reality is that we care more about others than we would care about what's important to ourselves. So on the negative side of this, we can be people pleasers. We can be people who just want to give up what's important to us and just make sure that if we'll lose the fight, but I don't even care how I feel anymore. As long as everything is going to be okay, then I'm going to give up to what I have. So yeah, and so let's see here. You're a 7. Okay, so yeah, February 3rd, 1991. Let's see your K's, Mola. 2 + 3 + 2, right? So yes, that'll be 7. And that's basically what number we'll talk about when we get there. But I'm kind of describing all of the different life paths for you guys, so you guys understand where the different numbers are, what type of people these are. So we have the leaders, and now we have the partners. These are the coaches, the ones who want to work well in partnerships. So this is going to be a good number to have for number 2. How about number 3s? Anyone born in March or have the number 3, born 1983, 1992? Yep, okay, we got a few here. Caitlin, anyone else? So the number 3 shows up as the sweethearts, the creative people, the ones who want to come in and have a lot of fun. There's lots of charisma here. So if you're born with a 3, you have it in your name, or you have it in your birthday, the life path 3 will have a really good time when it comes to things like art or dancing, music, creativity, wants to look good, feel good. They can also enjoy more than they probably feel like they want to sometimes. Like we just need to dumb down just to feel good again. But it's a big kid and it doesn't want to grow up. It wants to stay nice and young and nice and fun. And the nice thing about a 3 is that it will do so pretty well. But the negative thing about the 3 is that this girl's probably satisfying other people before she satisfies herself. And when something is important to her, oh no, it's okay, don't worry. And you just don't want to make anyone feel upset. Like you just want to make everyone feel good. That 3 can be very difficult to run sometimes because people don't want to take us as seriously. They want to just say, oh, you're so cute. And that feeling of like, I get it, I look good, but I'm going to do something big. So it's like these 2 components that show up that can be a very powerful way of you winning people over at the heart before you even ever have to talk about business. So this is the fun-loving version of numbers, but it also wants to stay a kid. So it's a really cool number. Then we have some 4s. Now, where are the 4s at? Let's talk about the 4s. These are some of the more skeptical people. They're like, all right, what is this? Like, what's going on here? How did you count this out? What's the math behind this? Where did you get that from? So I understand that there's a little bit of more of that logical mind that comes in that says really? Is this? And it's not, this isn't tarot cards, this isn't astrology, this isn't some sort of pseudo spirit science. This is measurement, this is engineering, and it's on the biological level of vibration and frequency. So it's a little tough to sort of understand, but these people like process, they like things logical, they like these systems driven, they can get a little OCD, they want to make sure things are done to order and done on time. And if you're inside one of these people's groups, you can definitely for sure feel like they're going to make you run. They're going to be the drill sergeant, boot camp type of person who's like, let's run the play. And they're very hardworking. So in case these are the back office wizards, all right? So they'll know the inside and outside of all their numbers. They want to know all the details. They're not going to make a decision very quickly. They'll be a little bit more reserved and have a healthy sense of skepticism as you drain all the information first through and then come to a conclusion later. It's all good. It does not... it's not a negative feeling. It's just the reality that you guys offer foundation into our lives. There's structure and there's balance and there's discipline. Things like working out, exercise, staying physically fit or active is going to be super powerful, but something to really pay attention to. These people will give you the no bullshit answer. They're going to be like, well, it's easy, right there. And you're like, you have to cut me so deep. But they'll be like, I don't have time for that. I'm going to be very straightforward with someone. And they're going to get kind of irritated at people who are late or sick or come up with excuses or I couldn't be on the webinar because I've got a sore throat. It's like, well, then don't say anything. Just sit there on the camera and take notes. The 4's got an answer for things because it thinks in a very methodical way that can be a little bit less emotional. It's also the entry point into money. So when you guys build a system like this, you find a lot of safety knowing that all the modules are laid out and that you can come in for support at different levels and there's different styles for us to sort of work into in that kind of regard. So this is the 4s, okay? Pretty cool stuff. When fours come in together, like someone said earlier, both me and my partner are a 4. Who was that? That was Nicole. So both you guys as 4s, there is going to be a lot of structure. Things happen on time. Otherwise, it's not a good place to be, for sure. We want to have stability and structure in that house. Absolutely, for sure. So let's talk about, and like, let's say, Morgan, this is not so much me, more my fiance, but he's a 9. There are other numbers in your guys' chart. There are numbers in your names, and there's numbers in your birthday. There's numbers in your middle name, your maiden name, how you approach on Facebook. There's about 30 different numbers. So you really want to sort of pay attention to the fact that, you know, there could be more overlap of other things inside of your chart. So yes, if you are waiting for the saying that there's something else missing, it could be inside of the names, okay? So what about number 5s? Any number 5s in the chart? Anyone here's number 5? Cool, the hustlers. That's what's up. These people are not afraid to get running. They want to just go, and they're movers and shakers. They don't want to settle down. They don't want to work hard. They want to fight something, and they want to swing hard. So this is the people who have very active lifestyle campaigns. They want to speak for that voice inside of them. Chasing wealth may be a little bit of an issue here, just because the 5 wants to travel, wants to spend money, wants to enjoy things, and it's not the let's build wealth vibration. It's let's enjoy our money vibration. So money was meant to be spent, and that's how a 5 will feel. But you guys got to stick on planes. You guys got to keep moving and keep shaking. And there is a strong sense of warrior. So in case there's something going on inside of the group, or inside of, like, if I was we were at a bar or at a party or like a place together, and I'm sitting here with Justin, someone's picking on me, this guy's going to stand in front of me and be like, hey, what are you doing to my boy? Like, you can't mess with Bobby. And that's going to be the type of guy that Justin is. He's very protective. The 5s will show up very protective of the people that they love and they care about. So your guys' sense of leadership has a lot of passion in it, and you guys are going to be the fastest running people on your team for sure. That's a good thing to feel. But there's a lot of really, like, there's a challenger in there. So people may want to argue with you. They may want to, like, battle back and forth a little bit. That's just like the nature of a 5. But there's no arguing against a 5. Okay, like if I find one, I'm just going to agree with what they say, because even if I'm right, I'm going to be wrong, and they're just going to argue it out anyway. Like, it's just the way a 5 works. So if we got spouses listening, and yeah, there you go. He's like, yeah, that's her. So they're they bring some chaos into our lives, and it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing, but these are the people who are saying, let's go. They want to be spontaneous. If you ever want to surprise, get into the good books of a 5, do something unexpected for them. Okay, like that's a really powerful feeling to keep the fluid energy. Like, catch them by surprise is a wonderful way to go. And let's take it to the number 6. So anybody born in June, or anybody have a life path 6, anybody showing up with it, doesn't look like it. I'm going to show it to you guys anyway. Carly shows up with one. Okay, so Carly's going to show up 6. And this is the mother. This is the partner, the one who wants to have a long-term relationship. They want to be a power mother or a power couple. They care about love. They also care about business. These are very emotional people who can get very down on themselves, but they give so much to the community, to themselves, to other people other than themselves. This is like the lack of self-love. They'll keep everything balanced at the expense of the person or expense of the self. So there's a lot of commitment, and there's a lot of loyalty, and there's a lot of love and a lot of care for others, but they can also be self-brooding. This is like the human burrito. It just like passes them a drink and a Netflix remote, and like don't bother them for a few days because they're really sad. They just don't want to talk to anyone, and that feeling just wants to go off and basically be in their own world and just sort of wait it out. It's kind of like being your own personal little bomb shelter. But the 6 can get sad. It can feel like the world is ending, and it will definitely sacrifice itself instantly for kids, for responsibility. These are the people, if they get married and they end up getting divorced, they're like, oh, I kept my last name because, for my kids. And I'm kind of just like, well, you don't have to. Like, I know, but, I did just to make things easier. Like, they'll sacrifice themselves, like, incredulously just to make sure everyone else is happy, and they want to go and serve everyone. So in case you ever do meet a 6 or you get a chance to work directly with Carly, go easy on her. She may not want to accept compliments. She may not want to be told about all it's hard to accept as a 6, because all we want to do is give. All we want to do is give to others. So to take compliments and to know how awesome she is, and to know how great she does, and how much value she brings to other people's lives, may be a little uncomfortable to be like, okay, stop it. And that feeling, it just doesn't want to be acknowledged, when in the reality is if you really want to be successful in life as a 6, you got to show the universe that you're willing to love yourself. And that's a really huge lesson for all of us, because I'm pretty sure inside of our names, we have those things that show up where we give to others more than we give to ourselves. So it's not like an uncommon theme, but the 6 is like the poster child for that. So we've got good communication and great logic ability, also good emotional ability. It's the most balanced number in the whole chart. So it's a wonderful number to have. And then we have what we go on to the number 7. So we had some 7s. I think it was, how do I say this? Are we still on with that person left? No, here, Kay's Mula, yeah. So as in life past 7, this will be really validating for you to hear this, because you don't say very much. The 7s are going to be kind of quiet. They're a little bit more reflective. They're a bit more intuitive. They're a bit more wise. They don't want to say as much because they feel more. So to feel like they're misunderstood or shy or quiet, or like, I don't want to do the go live or do this big, huge like social media thing, the 7 can be much more powerful in a one-on-one conversation or a one-on-one arena. So when you get a chance to see this person inside of a business, she's going to come up with a really powerful story, and then she's going to end up sharing it with the world, and it's going to line people up into her inbox being like, me too, I want to tell you about what's happening in my life. I like to use the 7s in business because it's very, like, people will want to tell you a lot. So in case anybody born in July or anybody who's got the 7 in their chart somewhere, you will be someone people want to talk to. They want to tell you things, and they want to show you what they're going on in their life because they trust you. So it's a very wise and very trustworthy number, but also very stoic. Meditation, being very quiet, just staying by yourself. This is where you're in your power. So just so you guys know, that's a really good number for that. Then we have the number 8s, and Nicole shows up with this. Maybe someone else shows up with 8s as well. If we've had a chance to work together, you most likely have an 8 in your name now. So anybody like Jesse V. Leisure, we've got Pete and Bree, okay, Pat and Tiana. You guys all have these letters in there that basically helped move you into a direction that's going to help you over in business, that also carries the feeling of how you want things to look. So we go to the number 8s. These are law of attraction. This is the graduation point of money. This is everybody's like dream zone. It sucks when I meet somebody and they're like, I just can't figure this out. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying everything, nothing's sticking. My ads don't work and this and that. I'm trying everything. And I look at their chart and I'm like, there's no 8 in there. It doesn't matter how much person this tries, and money's never going to work for you if that number isn't there and it isn't balanced. On the negative side of 8, this is disassociation, can be very like addicted to things, depression. Nobody knows what they're thinking. They're just basically like too smart for everyone. They've got an air of superiority. When the 8 goes into a negative, it can get very, very distracting. It can even lead into things like ultimate depression and even opting out. So we have a really powerful number that on the positive side is the abundance of energy, guys. This is it. This is the infinity symbol. This is like the reason why like numerology is so super awesome, is because we find this number and we tie it into the flavor of your personality. So you could be the type of leader or a partner or an artist or a hard worker, or maybe you're more of a passionate person who wants to travel. Maybe you're more of the mother version who wants to have or the father who wants to build a business at home, a power couple business. Maybe you're the very stoic leader who doesn't want to say very much. And you just want to be able to work one-on-one on quiet conversation. That type of thing can show up. Maybe that it shows up to be the global visionary who wants to create and be the next Matt Jang or be the next Balash. Like, those numbers show up inside of the ways that an 8 can show up. Maybe someone just wants to have the family business. If I give them a Volage number, they're going to be like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Why would I run a number that is not congruent with who I am? So when we work together in a session, I tell the story of all these numbers inside of your chart. And then that way you guys get a chance to know what's going to be the most congruent thing for you to talk about when you go live, when you go write a story, when you go out there and talk to someone person face to face, or like video or chat. What it shows up that you're attracting people who are like you. Your vulnerable place is the most authentic, and it's the most tastiest part of your business, is the passion that you bring into it, and the real raw, not the, hey, let's sell this machine thing now, or I got a system that's already done for you. Like, that just makes it like easier to focus on the fact that you have a story and that your story matters, and that you have something you can give to people, and that people are waiting for someone like you to be balanced, that they can know, like, trust, and invest in you. So super, super awesome. So the 8s, you guys can, it's like, be careful. The way that I describe 8s is as a warning. If you have the 8s born in August and in Life Path 8, be careful about what you think and what you say to the world, because of the amount of magnetism that's included inside of that vibration will literally start to manifest into things. And it's got the weird, it says more quantum physics than anything else. So in case anybody's reading Happy Pocket Full of Money, you kind of understand what I'm talking about here, that there's a magnetism to the energy and the vibration of the frequency of the things that you are. Like there are no strings on me. Like, okay, like look at this. This is a wireless device and there's nothing on it that's connecting me to a wire. Same thing with me, same thing with my laptop, same thing with my Wi-Fi router. Don't kid yourselves. Wireless communication exists. We're just catching up to it. So the same thing is going to happen within your chart. You're going to say something that's going to travel across space and it's going to land in someone's heart or someone's head or someone's gut. And it's going to motivate them to do something in their lives. And if you're not playing the song of your own, the tune, beating to the tune of your own drum or whatever you want to call it, it's not going to be congruent. People are just going to switch the station. They're going to be like, you know what, that doesn't sound like a really crazy song. I really don't like it. It just sounds like something that someone pumped out just to fill in the noise, as opposed to someone being on purpose, being like, you know what, I'm confident now to actually talk about the bullshit that I have to do in my life, the things that have to go down in my life to get me here, the failures and the depressions, the defeats and the debts and the loss in family and all, oh man, it's so crazy. And it's like to be able to carve right in there and have that perfect click to the safe where you can actually unlock your vibration. It's like the most profitable thing you'll ever find in your life. And you can be of so much service when you give this to others. So eights, wizards, you guys create things. And the whole point is to use your idea and your emotion to be able to inspire someone else into action. Very, very cool. Nicole's saying, I feel like I'm filling in noise, so to speak. Don't worry. Honestly, like we all get that. It's like the beginning stages where we don't even know how to hold a spoon and we want to learn how to eat with mom and dad, and we're this baby who just kind of, my daughter, we tried putting a spoon in her and she's like, screw this, and she just gets frustrated and just goes back to her hands and she eats better with her hands because that's where she's at right now. So when she grows a little bit better and a little bit bigger, she's not worried about it. She doesn't care. She's just hungry. So it doesn't matter if it looks good or not. What matters is it's authentic to you. So the same thing with your story. It could take some time before you become from fumbling with your hands to be able to sit with the fine manners of hypnotic writing and breakthrough advertising and your mindset's all right. And it takes like 2 years, guys. Like this isn't like an overnight. I know some people make like $1 bazillion in a few months, but I'm here long-term, long game. I know that we have something powerful to build. So I suggest you guys take on a 10-year plan. I think I was talking to Jesse about this. We were talking about your cycle years and what's going to happen in the next decade of your life. I've worked with Jesse a few times now. So after the first conversation where we talk about who you are, then we talk about, well, where are you going and where are you leaving and what's changing now and where are you going into? And so she's going into the next stage of her life just because of her birthday. So certain different stages in our lives show up. So super powerful. So let's go to the nines and then we'll start talking. Maybe you guys have some questions. If you do, drop them in the chat and I would love to maybe have you guys, I can expand on any of this stuff. But let's talk about the number 9. So the number 8 was the graduation point of business. And the number 9 is going to be the graduation point of love. The 9 is a very interesting number. If you want, I'll just like prove it with you guys right now. Take a number between 1 and 10 and add the number 9 to it. Okay, so for me, I'll take the number 4 and I'll add the number 9 to 4. So 9 plus 4 is 13. And then I take 13, I add it back together. 1 plus 3 equals 4 again. The 9 disappears. So the 9 is a very humanitarian number. They have a large vision of the world. They feel energies very deeply for others, and they want to have a strong desire to have a lot of impact. There's a very large number that's rooted in love that goes further than their own being. So you may feel like Jessie, sometimes she's a blast, sometimes she's nowhere to be found because she needs to be back into her own energy and she just needs to recluse a little bit because it can get a little overwhelming when your heart is extending into other people's auric field. And that's a really weird sort of spiritual feeling, but it disappears into whatever it touches. So the 9s are our ultimate humanitarian. They're the ones who want to help and cure and heal and fix the world and help people through things. But these are our lineup. Then we go to 11s, okay? So there's some overtime numbers. If you're born in November, you've got the life path 11. This shows up with an angel context, a spiritual connection, one that has to go through more difficulty in relationships in order to actually achieve the success that they're looking for. So 11s, they bloom a little bit later than others, and we have a little bit more to learn than others, but it does show up more powerful once we do figure it out. These are our 11s. And then the 22s. If you're born in 1984 or by some chance you got the number that added up to 22 before it added up into 4, then we have our master builders. These are like the spiritual and the logical combined, where they want to do something extraordinarily huge, but they're plagued by that logical mind that says, stop that, go back to work, get back to the job. And that barking mind just wants to beat us down logically, whereas the 22 is almost like, you know, Little Mermaid when she's like singing out to the world, like wants to become into a whole new world, whatever it is. That's Aladdin. But you know, you understand what I'm talking about. But the reality is that there's something more for this at the edge of the horizon that a 22 can't think or feel that they can see the end of. They'll basically see the beginning of it, but it's a really big undertaking or a really big project. So yeah, very, very powerful stuff. This stuff has been, and I've learned how to dance these numbers. What happens when we get like, let's see here. I'm just going to use someone as an example here. So let's take Chris Yang. So Chris Craig, sorry. So we're going to take Craig, and it's going to be 3 for March, 6 for the 15th, and then 5 for 1985. And then we have 8 plus 5 equals 4. So there's going to be a very powerful vibration here for stability, solidarity, like foundation and like structure. But then for the first 27 years of his life, he's like, yeah, but I don't want to work. I just want to enjoy myself. I just want to have a fun time. I just want to be a kid. I just want to enjoy it. And this will be a very charismatic kind of guy. And then when he grows into an adult, he grows between 6 and 4. So the foundation and then castle on top. So he wants to have a family. He's going to have a strong family. He's going to be a good dad. He's going to be a reliable and practical type of person. So this is the way that this shows up inside of his chart right now. And then later on, similar to what Gabrielle was saying earlier, she's like, there's a 4 and a 5 work well together. He's going to be in a 5-year over a 4 life path. Yes and no. Yes, because they're neighbors and they kind of see each other on the way to work. But the 4 is always working and the 5 is always traveling. So there's a state of like stability versus chaos, like understanding versus like disarray. So the 5 may be feeling more challenged, where the 4 is like, I'm going to challenge myself and I'm going to, you know, like do the hard work and I'm going to figure out how to get this done. The 5 is like, don't make me read the books. I just want to listen to the audio, or let's learn based on experience. Where the 4 is like, man, if you don't take notes, you're not going to understand this. So it could be the easy 1 and 2 where they may need each other, where it's like the yin yang concept, where you bring the stability, I bring the chaos. For me, I'm thinking if I see, like, let's say going back to Chris here, he's going to need to travel, but he's also going to want to have that feeling that Dorothy has when she clicks her heels, ain't no place like home. And he goes back to the home base, but then wants to travel and see the world. So there's going to be a pull between, should I stay right here and go to work, or should I follow my passions, my dream, and start hustling my ass off and keep moving? This is the third part of his life. After he's had fun, after he's created a family, this is where he gets a chance to go and become a little bit more mobile. So there's a pretty cool vibration there where we get a chance to see how numbers start to relate to each other. If anybody has any questions, would love to pick them up. Let's see here. Anybody here? Girlfriend and I, 5 and 11. Cool. Okay, that's nice. Absolutely yin and yang. Gabrielle saying that. 5 warrior, 11 spiritual. So these are going to be a very powerful connection, but it'll also offer a lot of challenge. Hey, Mark, 5 people are feisty, okay? 11 people are super self-sacrificing. So you can feel like when an argument comes in, the 11's like, why me? And then the 5's like, I'm right, you're wrong. And that feeling can be like a little bit tough because obviously they just don't want to fight. But the reality is that those numbers do come in together for a very powerful dynamic. And the 11's here to learn and here to grow, and the 5's here to vanquish and here to help people. So it can be a very powerful vibration for sure. How about both of those sound like the voices, internal voices? Yes, absolutely. Inside of Nicole's numbers. Really saying, wow, cool. Check the website, Kim 28. Any questions, guys? Anything I can expand on for you before I sort of move on and show you a little bit about this? I wonder maybe if anybody wants to, 7 and 2. We're talking about 2 people here, Carly. So if one person's a 7 and one person's a 2, the 2 would go to the 7 and say, come on, just tell me, like, let's talk and let's go back and forth. And the 7 is just like, I don't know what to say. And like, just say something. Like that feeling of the 2 wants to communicate back and forth. And the 7's just like, don't want to say anything, like just wants to sit there and be quiet. So this could be a little bit of a difficulty when we're talking about arguing with each other for sure. But in power, the 7 will relate to creating a quiet space to be there and listen to the 2. And the 2 will be attentive to what the 7 is feeling, so that the 7 feels like someone's here to validate me or work through with me. They're loyal to me. Any one of these numbers are going to work, guys. But the reality is that they should be balanced. They could be the best numbers ever. And if they don't balance out and they go off into chaos instead of cooperation, it's a very tough thing to be able to come in. Mark says, what are all my numbers? Yeah, that's a pretty good one. If you want, let's put Mark on the stage. Mark, you ready to do this? Let's get your birthday. And what I'll do is I'm gonna run a small little chart, a small little reading for you, just for the birthday. But if you want to put your birthday in there, we'll talk about it. 4 and 9. 4 shows up with stability. The 9 would require that. So the 9 would be like would need to be away from things sometimes, can get very alone and very lonely into itself. And the 4 would keep the 9 grounded and would keep the 9 having a good place to actually stay. So we have Melissa says me next. Okay, so November 6, 1986. November 6, 1986. This is where we are. Okay, so I had it written down. So you have the number 11. So 2 plus 6 is 8. And then 8 plus 6 is 5, which is 14, right? So 8 plus 6 is 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. So he's got a powerful warrior vibration right up front. This guy needs to travel, needs to move, needs to keep going on, needs to keep things fluid. This is going to be a solid sense of ADD. Get a spinner, a fidget spinner, or a clicker on your pen, or like a thing that just sort of like does one of these things. There's a strong sense of needing to keep things moving. So that 5 is going to be powerful for that mark. Then we show up with 11 up front, which can mean that a warrior meets longer learning curve where you have to learn about relationships through difficulty. This is a thing who's going to be going through a fight. And so when we see the 2 come together, this could be like parents that abuse us, friends and girlfriends who break up with us, business deals go south or go down sour. It could be a range of different things that happen between the fight that we have to deal with and the learning expense or the learning procedure, the learning experience that you end up having to go through in order to become the leader that you're supposed to be one day. And then we have 6. So you turn 27 one day. And when you turn 27 years old, the vibration then shifted into family and cares for his family and cares for others. There's a leadership is inside of all of these numbers, but the 5 and the 6 shows up with a powerful sword and a powerful heart, with the passion to serve and help other people, but you also have a very strong version of you that's very like hustler mode. So you got a family to fight for, and you want to take them and you want to basically like, put them on planes, take them to different places, experience things, travel with them. That's a very powerful vibration that shows up inside of your chart. But interestingly enough, for this guy, at 55 years old, he doesn't get a switch. He continues on to the 6. So we can tell it's going to be very loyal type of a family person and very loving inside of a leadership, but he's going to have a good looking business with people who got emotional buy-in. So Nicole's saying, I love this kind of math. Me too. This is so super nuts, guys. This is like the most powerful thing ever. Just to be able to see that these things hold values for us. And what we can do is we can use them to be able to actually like move them forward. So, I mean, what I want to do is I wanted to give someone a free, like a special gift. And then also if you guys want to book in with me, I also want to give you guys like a special treat. So just because you guys are all here and, this is what I do. And you guys, even just Pete and Bree and like, Tiana, all you guys, Jesse, I've gotten a chance to work with a bunch of you guys already. And I consider you guys family to me. So I really want to give forth the value of what we can do together or what we've got. So when I do a numerology session, what I do is I basically have a set amount of time. We either hook up for 15 minutes and I get you a name and that's it. You basically just get a name and a report and enough to say, hey, this is what I can do. And this is basically what we can go through. And I can give you a little bit of the, hey, watch out for this. 15 minutes, it's not very long. Then half an hour gives us enough time to go through your chart. And at least this point, we get a chance to pick the right name. You get a chance to learn about yourself. I would recommend that a half an hour be your second or your third session with me after you've already spent an hour with me. Because when we take a look at the full hour, we get a chance to go into the history lesson, into the future class, into the deepest parts of where you are. We get a chance to expand on topics. We also get a chance to give you a name, of course, But in case budget's tight and you just need to get a little bit of something, then obviously we're going to be able to just put it together in a small little session there for you. And then I have my power couple session where we basically do like half an hour for each person and then half an hour together where we get a chance to talk about the business or the relationship. Perhaps maybe you guys are planning on having kids or planning on getting married. But any parents out there maybe want to know what's happening with their kids and why this one keeps running into the wall and this one, is he going to be okay? And this one doesn't want to move and just wants to sit and draw all the time. So it depends on the numbers that are in there. If your kids are born in July, give them a break. They're probably going to look at you and they're not going to say anything. And then if you're born in August, they're probably going to be like, but why? Why can't I? Where is that saying? How come? And they're just going to want to know a freaking answer for everything. My little girl's born in August, so I understand these people are shrewd little negotiators. Okay, so it would pay good to know what type of a kid you got so you know that there's not something going on crazy with them and you can actually understand what's going on within them. So very, very powerful stuff for kids. I do kid numerology as well. But I did want to give you guys something extra because when we do get a chance to sit together, we spend that time. We also give you a name. I'll also record the audio. You get a chance to record the video if you want it. We'll also give you a written report. I hacked a program here, guys. This thing is like a very strong look into the underground matrix of who you are. It's about 80 pages or something that show you all calendars to be able to use to be able to figure out exactly when you are. And this thing is included in your chart. What I'm going to do is for everybody inside of here that's here live, just say that you were live when you guys were booking in, if you guys are booking in with me. And I'm going to give you 2 of these reports. So you get a chance to have one for yourself and then one for a spouse, one for your top rising leader, one for your kid, one for your baby, one for your dog if you want. Actually, no, don't do your dog. I'll do a reading for your animal if you want me to. It's actually cute. But yeah, if you want to have your session done with me and we haven't done it yet, what I will do is I will give you an extra session or an extra report for somebody else in your family as I love you guys and I appreciate you guys so much for letting me be on here and allowing me to sort of share with you what I know. And I also have another special offer, and this is a little bit more deeper level stuff. The world needs to know this, okay? There are people who out there who need to learn how to do this. I'm collecting 10 people right now that are going to be learning how to do this information. So what I usually do is it's $26.99 for an 8 hours, over 4 days or 3 days for a private one-on-one, and I teach you left to right, absolutely everything to do with this vibration, everything to do with this technology. Is $26.99. So if I do 10 people at a time, the price drops to $19.99. And so you'll be able to get into a small group of 10. There isn't going to be more than 10 people in a class. It needs to stay intimate. And then what I'll do is I will train you guys over 4 different sessions or 3 different sessions, depending on scheduling. And we'll teach you guys the entire thing on how to do it. But I don't advertise that price. So in case you do want to take advantage of it, you'll have to call me and message me and say, okay, I'm ready to go, or I want to do this. $1,999.99 United States dollars. Okay, so this isn't $20. It's a full-on course. With this, you know how to align names. You know exactly where things are in the universe. How to actually align things like your bank account. How to know what type of a house vibration you're living in. Maybe the number of your email or the number behind your telephone number. It has to be good for communication. So we go through the whole gambit and we teach you this language. Because a lot of people are like, how do you know this? And you guys are just wanting to be a part of it. So I am offering that as well. But that's a special price. I don't advertise it. So in case you guys want that, you'll have to message me directly and just say, I'd like to be put on the list. And as soon as I have 10, it's probably going to happen sometime in November. But it's going to be something that's going to be super powerful. But I do want to open this up just in case anybody's got any questions. Any thoughts, any comments, or anybody have any questions about anything that's specifically in their chart? I'd love to dive into it now if you're okay to be public about it or private within your group. But I am recording this and I will be using it for later. So if anybody wants to unmute themselves and I can be put on the spot. Ari, okay, cool. So if you want, maybe if you want to unmute yourself and ask me a question or two, and then you can come into that.
Hey, I don't even know what questions to ask. I thought you were going to ask me questions.
How are you? How's it going? How's the weather? I don't know.
It's raining out, but it's good. Yeah, no, I think I was just wanting a little bit more clarification on my number.
On your number? What's your birthday?
Well, I'm an 11, but July 12th, 1990.
July
And
12th, 1990.
boyfriend's a 1.
Cool. Ones and twos work well together. Okay. So we have 7, 3, and 1. So there's and 1990. So that makes you like 28.
Yeah.
You just went through a switch. Between 0 to 27 years old is the month number, and then from 27 to 55 is the day number. So things took a pretty mighty shift from 7 going into the very stoic, very reserved, reflective style of nature behind you. Now coming into your childhood vibration, coincidentally enough, when you leave your childhood, you enter a number that says 3, which is going to say fun-loving, charismatic, doesn't want to get older. At 27, you pause aging up until 55, and then you resume it at that moment on. But there's looming leadership that's going to be growing into a point. It goes from 7 to 3 into 1. So this woman is going to be consistently growing younger in life, and you start off with angel number. So I wouldn't be inside of a session together. I wouldn't be afraid to get super spiritual on you and to talk about the divine and the intuitive promptings and the communication you have with angels. That type of thing can be very fluent for a 7 who's very empathic. You just know what other people are thinking. And the 11 is almost downright like having a cell phone to God, being like, yo, what up, G? How you doing, man? And then you can almost hear it back and forth, that you are able to have these communicative experiences, whether it be that you're looking at a clock, having a dream, going into meditation, very strong level of communication internally, esoterically. And then 27. You turn 27 and you put the 7, which is like the vibration of intuition, down, and you pick up the vibration of creativity, the vibration of expression, wants to go out there and actually start doing things in the world and start like having fun in it and enjoying in it. So it's a nice time for that number to come out. And then you go into 1, which at this point will be a very powerful reason why you want to become a leader one day. You will grow into a very powerful one, but you will help people through a lot of the things that you've gone through earlier in life. You're going to help them through things that they're going through in their life. Very, very powerful stuff to be able to see that. And then you said your boyfriend's a 1. Is that relevant? Do we need to share some words on clarity on that?
No, just if you want to touch on it, but.
Cool. Yeah. Like 1s and 2s work together, leaders and partners. The leader wants to be followed and the 2 wants to follow someone. And not to say that you're just not going to have leadership on your own. You have it in your chart. And the fact that you have it in your chart at one point in your life will create relatability and rapport with your boyfriend, because he's got a 1 in his chart now. So when people share the same numbers, like-minded individuals, pretty cool stuff. Nice. So what else? Who else? What else is going on here? Gotta go, guys. Bye, Nicole. Definitely here. I would love to be on the spot too. So Nicole, do you want to come up and sort of say what's up? Definitely. James wants some clarity as well. Okay, so wait a second. Let's see. Let's see if we'll do this in order. So we'll go James first, and then So James, what's up, buddy? How's it going, man? Did I get your birthday? Let's try it.
Yeah, March 26, 1982.
So March 26, 1982. And what we'll do is we'll just put all these numbers together as well. 3 plus 8 is going to be 11. 11 plus 2 is going to be 13. 1 plus 3 is 4. So logical mind, process driven. This guy's going to be trapped under that feeling of, is this for me, or this business, money working for me? But then inside of him, he's got a very strong vibration that says, yes, it is. I can make this money, make this work. It will happen. I will make it done. But there's that constant battle between the accountant and the CEO. What's the burning question, my friend?
The burning question is just for my age and stage of life. Do you see this as a good fit? We just started with Gaz in April or May.
What a biased question. Of course it's a good fit.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the one. And here's the reason why. Okay, so first of all, March, you enjoy, there's a fun-loving side of you. 4, you like the solidarity, the discipline of the system. 8, you like the fact that the money can work for you. And 2, you appreciate the coaching factor where you get a chance to work one-on-one with someone's actual story. So, I mean, for me, I'm born in 84, and I found this like 4 years ago. So I was basically like 31 or something. And I felt like at that point too, or am I getting into this too late? Is this for the people in their young 20s? Your vision, your story matters. But if you're going to put this into a marketing campaign and you want to show people who you are, the way that this would show up would be that you're showing enjoyment, you're showing love, you're showing solution, you show discipline, structure, and this feeling that people can work with you. So that's a really powerful ingredients inside of your chart, inside of your marketing campaign. But guys, the reality here is that some of you guys may have names that don't actually equal out to business. So no matter how fast you run, you're still running into a wall, or you may still be running into the ground or into a corner, or trying to put like water in the gas tank kind of thing. So there is a power in making sure that your name is ready for takeoff and that you've got all the right gear and attendants basically servicing that name can be very, very powerful. But yeah, what was it about, going back to James, what was it about the uncertainty that shows up there? Like what's the, like what does that come up as?
Well, actually, following the numerology charts that you explained dives into a lot of my past with my dad, because he's a 2, which is a coach, but he's always tried to be a forceful leader and always collapsed on him when he should have focused more on being a coach. And that's kind of like where I had conflict. If I could actually see myself as a leader, branching into being an entrepreneur with my wonderful wife here and stepping forward into the global affiliate world.
Nice, man. I like the way you sound. Like when I'm listening to someone, I'm like, his voice isn't shaky. He knows what he's trying to say. It comes from a solid place of integrity. And this is good. I know I can trust this because I know you're not afraid to do the hard work. You're not afraid to look and dream big, but you have to make peace with yourself. If you guys have 4s, this is a gift to all the 4s in the house. If you guys have 4s, you should list things out every day. Like list out what needs to get done, what things you're good at, what things you need to be working on, like different parts of like success that show up, top 10 list of your strengths. If you can like measure out like all of the things that you have to do on a daily basis, you keep that clinical mind that says, can I really do this? Is this really for me? All of that stuff sort of gets taken aside and it lets your vision sort of move back forward. So in case you guys do have 4s in your chart, a really powerful thing. And like the 4s, come on, you guys love making lists. So like, sure, I could do that. Why not? And then you just list everything out because that's just what an organized person would do. Like, hello. And so you keep doing that. And then it takes the accountant or that sort of like the one who wants to check and balance everything. It keeps them busy doing laps, and that gets them really running for the race. Because there is power in the vibration of money wants to work for you. And there's also power of relationship between you and coaching and you in partnership with other people. So it is a very powerful thing that you are involved in now. I say you take the next 10 years and you write out a freaking plan and you just plan out the next decade. By the time 10 years is done, you'll be well into the dashes and you'll have done something super powerful in life. And if not, you'll be 10 years older anyway, so you may as well do something. And that feeling is to know that brick by brick, you will create success. But of course, now people are saying the name thing absolutely would be powerful to make sure that the name works. Yeah. Okay. Who's next?
Thanks.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. What was it? It was Nicole.
It was me.
Hey, Nicole. What's your birthday?
Hi. May 24th, 91.
May 24, 1991. We have 5, 6, and 2. And so we have 11, 12, 13. Same thing, 4, life path 4. So let's piggyback on this. What's the burning question?
Burning question is, how can I help myself be more focused so that I can actually turn that organization into actual success? $1 million question.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a combination between the name. So what I'm going to do is, as a special treat, I did want to do someone's name, unless there's a more deserving vibration for how like we're going to talk about this. I'd like to, like someone else who comes in more valuable to be able to take this information. I'd love to give one of you guys a name alignment. This is going to be it. So if you want, what we'll do is, sorry, it was Nicole, you said?
Yeah, I actually go by M. Nicole Simard because of the way I sign my name at work.
M as in like
Melissa.
Melissa. So M, Nicole, and then Simard. How do I spell that?
Simard.
Here we go. But then Nicole spelled with an H in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Simard. Okay, cool. So you're the lucky winner. We're going to do this. We're going to get you a name. And so is this what you show up on your business page?
It actually says Stefan and Nicole Simard because it's with my husband.
How do I spell that?
Just to throw you a curveball.
That's okay.
Stephan.
Stefan and Nicole?
Yeah.
And
Simard.
is it the letter A-N-D for and?
No, I put the thingy.
The ampersand.
Yeah, that one.
Okay. So we'll just do here, and this is where you're spending money on ads.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so let's take a look here. Drum roll. Are you nervous? What's going on?
Yeah,
Let's do this.
I am.
Okay, so
Like something's got to change.
yep. So Stefan is Stephane, Nicole Nichole, and then Simard Simard.
Yeah.
And then with the little and symbol. Guys,
Right.
nobody knows numerology, okay? This is not like something you get taught anywhere. So you don't need to know how to play the guitar in order to listen to a song on the radio, I'm afraid. So the same thing with numerology. You don't need to know how it works in order for the spell to come to you. So when somebody sees this name and they see this as a sponsored ad, they're scrolling through and they're basically seeing this thing here. The first thing they're going to think of is warrior. The next thing they're going to think of is family, and the next thing they're going to think of is partner. That does not one of them says business or long-term wealth or like I know you, trust you. This is someone that they can have a debate with or an argument with or a lot of back and forth dialogue. We'll get a lot of skeptical people, and then it'll end up giving more. It's going to lose posture very quickly. So it's just like the training for this would be kind of like, you know, you get your many chat or you get your chat sequence, your message sequence. And one of the first ones is like, look, I take my time really seriously. I appreciate you reaching out, but tell me, like, why should I work with you? Or like, what's going on in your life? And like that level of posture is almost kind of like, whoa, easy. They're like, yeah, I'm planning on spending a lot of time with you one-on-one for the next couple of months to years in order to achieve a real long-lasting wealth and income. So definitely going to take, and that level of posture is much different than what's happening right here, where it shows like you want to get stuff done. A lot of things are going to get done, but it'll end up being that you do a lot of things for other people. So what I would suggest that we actually even this thing out. So in case we're going to even it out, let's just see what we can do. I'll go for the low-hanging fruit first and change ampersand into the letter A and D. It doesn't work if I do that. How about just the letter N? That doesn't work either. How about the letter X? There you go. So instead of using the and symbol, you use the letter X, okay? This is it. This is like, and this is the weirdest like life hack I've ever learned in my entire, this is the weirdest thing ever, okay? So because the X stands for 6, it's a 6 number, we move the part of the vibration up 6 points. So instead of landing at 2, 2 plus 6 is 8. It lands in the money number. And it still has the vibration of passion and warrior and wants to do things, but now it has, let's just be easy, let's just enjoy, and let's just have fun and don't worry about things. You know, we're here having fun now. It's the hustle mentality to a fun style of business. It's going to show up now that says, let's make money. And it does not focus on the hard, this is what we do. And that could be a little difficult because if you need to be super controlled, like controlling of everything, and you want to like have structure to everything and discipline and practicality, then on a business like this, it may be incongruent where you're like, well, this doesn't really match my vision of what I want to go through. I go for the low-hanging fruit, and I basically say, okay, Stephane X Nicole Simard. So the X would be like and then this way you have a vibration that will lead you into money, but won't lead you into hard work. And it's just this magnetic feeling that has people liking you. They want to, in the way that this would look on a post or like a marketing campaign, you showcase your lifestyle, whether it be traveling or enjoying or going to the thing or doing something fun, you know, snapping a selfie at the movies or whatever it is that you show out there and say, this is what freedom looks like. That feeling there is not you're trying to sell anyone. It's more that you're showing what's possible. So that's where that number comes in, but very, very powerful. Stefan X Nicole Simard.
That's awesome. Thank you. I felt like there was something incongruent there, and you hit it on the head.
Absolutely. Just change it right there, and you're good to go. Now, there would be also another vibration you're holding, like the one on your actual page. What is this? M Nicole Simard. That's what you're showing up on your actual personal page?
On my personal page, it actually only says Nicole Simard.
Okay, so let's quickly just do that one, and I'll give you something that you can use for this one as well, and then we'll start to wrap it up a little bit because I do got to get running. So this one would take Nicole D, Nicole M, or Nicole V Simard. So weren't you using that a second ago? Yeah, you already actually used that, and M would stand for Melissa. So here's a really interesting. Here's an interesting thing that just happened here, guys. She has a name option that actually has her middle initial in it. that means she has a destiny to do this. And she's like searching around for where is it? I know I left my success keys somewhere. And here it's right in front of us. The one that you should be using would be Nicole M. Simard. There is other ways that you could like boost this thing up, but nothing would be as cool. This is basically as far as it would go. And then after that, I mean, we could even just play with Melissa. And I sometimes do that. And so Melissa would show up there, but then you'd have to add like a G or a F or something else in there. But Nicole M. Simard would be very, very powerful for you in terms of life, business, to put things in motion. This could last you a really long time. Probably not forever. You may choose to want to change something at some point, but it is your name, so you may never want to change it at all. After that, it's actually pretty cool. But then imagine if it was something else. Like, imagine if I was like, you get to put Nicole F or Nicole D or Nicole like P or Nicole Q. There could be a vibration there that says, hey, that's not really me. And that's what a lot of people have to deal with inside of their working for me. Not every one of us gets to choose our actual initial, but there's so much power inside of this. Chris says, I got to go. Thanks, Bobby. I reached out for your post reading. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys. And so anybody else have any questions? That was a one-time treat. So all very exclusive for Nicole. So anybody else who's looking to get their name read, you'll have to get that in with me for a session. But there's a really powerful vibration here that you have available for you guys. If you guys are trying to get into 5, 6, 7 points, it's of your own personal like investment to make sure you're entrepreneurs, that you start creating a culture of paying it forward, and you just send them to me. And as soon as you're making that trifecta, they come in with a quad, you made like $4.5 grand on the thing. Like, it's probably pretty cool. You spent a couple $100 on making sure they go through some coaching, some training. And I'm definitely one of those guys that would be loving to be able to help you guys with it. I'd love to come and speak for you guys again. Anybody else have any super burning questions that just need to get answered here while we're here, other than what's your name or what's your chart? Baby planning, maybe name planning, marriage dates, conception dates. I also do death paths. So if anybody has lost anyone and they want to talk and reconcile some things that have happened inside of people they've lost. Also, the next 10 years, we're in cycles. So you could be showing up for the next cycle of your life. The earth is currently in a new cycle right now. So we're sort of starting the new next 9 years. But some of us are ending our own personal cycle where we're not in the same place before as we were otherwise. So what I'll do is I'll again put in my site here. It's www.bobbyfperryhar.xyz. And let's talk about, Bobby did our wedding date that aligns with our charts. Absolutely. Marriage dates. Absolutely, guys. Make sure you get married on a day that's going to land on the type of relationship you have. Like, definitely a 6 is a good solid place to create a family. Some people who don't really care about having kids, they may just want a day as a 4, or maybe they're very spiritual people. They want to get married on a 7 day, but there are really cool days, numbers that will link up to the vibrational harmony of the universe that happens on that date. And this stuff is so super powerful. You can't build a house without it. You can't build a car without it. You can't do anything without math. And to think that we don't know this stuff and it just sort of shows up like this, it's absolutely crazy. Couple sessions. Let's see. I'm just going to take a look right now. I believe they're on my site, but I've got it right here. Usually people just book in one at a time, but I love doing, when I get a chance to work with couples, it's a 90-minute session. And when we get a chance to see that, it's going to be here. Let's see here. Schedule once, and then I'll just quickly log into my site, and then I'm just going to make sure that it's up. Sometimes I actually don't even have it on my site just because like it clogs up the page, but it looks like I am going to get it here. Really cool. My site's not working right now. If anyone else is seeing that issue, maybe it's just something that's happening on my computer, but I'm actually getting rebranding done right now. So let's go into this one. Okay, this one will work. Thank you. So my couple sessions are 3:33 for 90 minutes. And we get a chance to read both of you together. Reading couples is the most funnest thing. It's like there are two of you guys sitting next to each other, and one of them's like, see, I told you. And then they're like sitting there next to each other and they're like, oh man, like you totally nailed it. And it's just that feeling to have couples in front of me is the most funnest thing ever. I usually get myself into trouble whenever I do that because I like call somebody out on something and they're like, oh shit, why did you say that? And that feeling comes out. So super cool. Gabriel, the mini session is 88. Okay. So that's the one there. And absolutely so super cool. Patrick and Tiana say, I've been seeing a crazy amount of ones, especially 9/11 nonstop. Ones are angelic numbers. So if you see them in 2s or 3s or 4s, 11, 11, 111, 11 something at the pump, that kind of stuff, you're guided. There's some strong spiritual magnetism that's really helping you guys move forward. But yes, absolutely. And honestly, guys, if you feel like you can't afford it and you really needed to get it done, reach out to me. I will work something out for you. Okay, I don't mind. You can pay me later. You can pay me once you guys are super successful. But I do want to make sure that you have access to this. Like, let's turn the vibration around and start making you guys a lot of coin and a lot of impact, a lot of money inside of your charts. I like that one too. Mark says, well, I see 1, 2, 3, 4. The fun one for me is when I see 1234 with 56% on my battery. That's pretty cool. I like that one for sure. Been seeing 222. Partnership was a really strong one for sure. But yeah, every day for like a year. That's awesome. Mark's going places. Progression. That's a really good number for progression. Fiance sees 22 all the time. That's a pretty cool number as well. You got a big goal, trying to do something very large on the planet. And it's almost like ripping us apart to feel that we can actually think that big. But very, very powerful stuff for sure. Well, guys, I think we've come to the end of our time together. Unless Pete and Bree or anybody else has any kind of questions or anything you guys want me to sort of expand on. But yes, it's been such an honor to be able to share this with you guys. I love doing this. Like, it never gets old. I could be so super tired and like I could still do this because this is like my passion to be able to share this with people. I've taught a few classes already. It gets super cool. We get a chance to see all the numbers showing up for you guys. But yes, aligning everything inside of your life. This will be a very powerful technique and a very powerful tool. And I appreciate all your guys' care here. Thanks so much. You're freaking great. You're freaking great. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Absolutely. Yes, Caitlin, book in a session for sure. Melissa and James, for sure. Come in and book in a couple session with me. I can also do couple sessions inside of an hour. So in case you guys are, let's do both of you in 1 hour. You can book in a single hour, and then in additional information, you just basically say, hey, I got me and my partner here, and this is my partner's birthday and full name. And then that way we get a chance to do it for sure. Having a full moon party with my 2 friends, we'll all turn 27 in October. Oh, Jessie, that's so super cool. I gave her a really cool treat to do on a full moon where you just let go of all the things that are no longer serving you. She's leaving the first minor of her life, going into the birth day from the birth month. So there's new times ahead of Jessie for sure. And the fact that all 3 of you guys, or 2 of your friends, or all of you guys are turning 27 in October, it's a very monumental time for sure. That's a very powerful mastermind. Absolutely. Cool, guys. Well, Pete and Bree, I'll throw it back to you guys since I've been talking for like an hour and a half straight here.
No, I didn't see you take like a breath of air or a sip of water or anything.
Yep.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, like, Bobby's just barely scratched the surface here. We did a couple session for about an hour and a half. And it just taught us a lot about each other and about how to work together. It kind of let us make a plan about moving forward because we used to both want our hands in everything. And kind of with his session, it helped us kind of learn each other's strengths, learn each other's weaknesses, and just kind of go from there. And now we work better now than we've ever worked before in our life, because starting a business, especially if you're a couple, you probably never worked together before. So it's completely different to kind of come into that place and to do it together. And you just learn so much about each other. And since we've like had our readings with Bobby, our business has been super consistent, not only just financially, but just like how we wake up every day, how we show up to our business. It's just, I don't know, it's just aligned a lot of things for us. So
yeah, no, basically that touched on everything. Like, we probably had the most fantastic session ever, and our business really propelled itself from there. Like, it literally took a jump start, and we've had the best months since we came back from South Africa. That we've just been on a really good tear with the business. We feel really good. We feel really aligned with each other. And we've never honestly worked better with each other. It took us a little while to learn how to balance our strengths and weaknesses, and Bobby helped us like really pick out some of those things that we could help each other with, and like really, balance each other a little bit better. And they really, really helped us. So it was a phenomenal session. Bobby, we really appreciate you popping on here and spending that last hour and a half with us. And hopefully everyone got a lot of value and like just a little tidbit into what it can really do.
Can I ask, actually, because I'm recording this and I'm going to use this later with you guys' permission, there are also Patrick and Tiana and also Jessie. I'm not sure if I've read anyone else's chart inside of the group, but do you guys want to unmute yourselves and maybe just give me like a small 1 or 2 minutes on your experience with me, just so I can get it recorded as well? Maybe Jessie, if you want to start, or Patrick and Tiana are unmuted if you guys want to go.
Yeah, absolutely. For us, it was a lot of similar things like Pete and Bree said. One of the biggest things that stood out for me that I was struggling with was that Bobby helped me with was the 3 stages of your life and how your life path, your numbers change and how things change in your life. And for me, I went through a pretty decent, crazy transformation the last few years as going through that age, and I had no idea why. Thinking that almost I was doing some things wrong or I was changing a certain way. But it made a lot of sense. And also with that, for me, how Tiana incorporated to that and how her numbers changed at a different time because we're different ages, and how that all aligned was really crazy for us too.
Yeah, I would say that it actually helped our relationship so much because it helped us understand why maybe we were having some conflicts or why we weren't having the same connection in certain areas of our life at the same time. Didn't mean that we weren't wanting those same things, but maybe it happened for me sooner than it did for him because his number was not quite there yet. But it was so powerful, and it made us appreciate each other again because we both have so many aspects and attributes to bring to each other's.
Yeah, and just I don't know, definitely since it and with throwing our initials in our names and aligning that with our business name too, definitely things align, feel a lot better about things. It's crazy. I would highly recommend it. Obviously, you guys have enjoyed the session today, but like Pete said, this really does only scratch the surface, and Bobby went so much deeper than us, and our minds were blown. So
yeah, he was able to pull things out that I purposely held in, and he called me out on them. And
do you remember that, Bobby?
Yeah, that was fun.
I couldn't even believe it. So it helps bring up things that you maybe are hiding or hiding behind, and it helps you acknowledge them and accept them and maybe put some purpose behind those times. So it was a breakthrough.
Yeah, with that part, Tiana was definitely, she was holding something back, and I knew the whole time because I was sitting beside her, and I didn't want to throw her in front of the screen or if she was uncomfortable or anything. And then Bobby basically called it out, and I just kind of lost it because I was just like, what's going on here?
That's funny. And then the thing is, I don't know, right? I don't know any of this stuff. I just get a chance to read the numbers. I don't know if you've been hiding it or if it's not something you show up with the world, but the fact that it shows up inside of your numbers, it could be that kind of shows up for others as well. So I really appreciate that's really cool. Ari Summers saying, Sonic saying, as soon as I changed my name, I wrote a great ad. It went from $6 to $2 of $2.30 a lead. Coincidence? That's so crazy. That's nuts. Yeah. I've seen people, it's not the first time I've seen something like that. You're just speaking to a vibration. People don't know this stuff. They have no idea what this stuff it means. So it's so super powerful to see it work. But what about Jesse? I'd love to get Jesse's idea here before we finish off, unless Pat wants to finish off there at all.
We're good. Thanks.
Hey. Yeah, totally agree with you calling out some things about myself. It's all things that I knew, but just to hear you say it, I remember crying when you were explaining it to me, oh my God, that's so true. The whole free-spirited thing. It's stuff that you didn't even know that you were able to see in me without even knowing me. It was kind of creepy that you just knew. So in order for, when he calls out these things about you and he can kind of show you a set plan of where you're headed based on the vibration that you've been in the past and the one that you're putting out in the future. And then when I added the V to my name, 100% just noticed a weird confidence shift. I more self-assured, know where I'm going. I feel a little more powerful. And the V, I remember when we were trying to pick a letter to put in there, I was missing an 8. So earlier when he was talking about how people that are missing an 8 or missing the business number are kind of working and just not bringing in the money or not making any progress in business. That was definitely me. So I added the 8, and since then I hit 3A and 4A, and I feel more confident now than I have before. He also called out a couple things when you get the report that's 80 pages, there's little nuances in there that are dead on too. Oh, you're going to have the stroke of luck this month, or you're going to have a relationship issue this month. Not that I was in a relationship, but you know what it's like being single. So just everything was everything's dead on, and it's kind of creepy. But the big thing was changing my name. And when we picked out of the 3 letters that I could choose for business and we settled on V, I just remember you saying V is victorious. So that's how it's weird because like that's how I feel like I'm kind of like embodying like a sense of victory, I guess. But yeah, it was super awesome. I've actually talked with him twice because I am turning 27, and 27 is a really big year because I'm, like he said, the cycles are in years of 9. I'm ending a cycle at the end of 26, so like 2 weeks from now. So right now I'm letting go of a lot of things, and then I'm going to be entering this new cycle. And what we talked about was pretty exciting for me because I think things are just going to be on the up and up here starting in October. So I'm excited. And thank you, Bobby, for coming out tonight and for my sessions.
Oh, you're very welcome. Yeah, it's been an honor and a blessing, guys. I really appreciate all you guys for sure coming on and spending this time with me. You do me such a huge honor, and I hope to serve you guys in business and in life, whatever it is, whether it be business, personal, whatever we got to go through. I'm here for you guys. And other than that, I will let you guys go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to end the recording here, and I will see you guys at the next event. How's that?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. Have a great night. Take care. All right, guys. Take care. See you later.